attacking the turtle. Basically how to break a turtle down, how to pin somebody. All of this stuff is like wrestling concepts. So this is stuff you're going to see primarily in folk style. But it's a great way to score in like an ADCC rule set where people are really intent to turtle and they don't want to give up points. So you'll see a lot of times in ADCC people try to jump hooks on a turtle, and the guy, if you're not careful to stand up, they shake you off, you don't get points, and now you're on bottom. So we're going to work on kind of breaking that turtle down, and a good way is to transition from some kind of folk style pins into some submissions. So can I use you? When somebody's in their turtle, generally speaking, yeah, in jiu-jitsu they're going to be down like this. So we're going to have to make a few adjustments. In folk style, he's going to be more up, kind of in a referee's position like this. But in jiu-jitsu, that kind of threatens his neck a little bit. So you're starting to see more of this in like ADCC because they're trying to stand up. And if he hits his hands and starts to stand up, this is like, if I'm here, he'll grab my hands. Basically, he'll separate and exactly, he'll go up and get up and turn in. But generally, most jiu-jitsu guys they're gonna shell up a little bit more, right? So all of this I learned from Wade Chalice, who's probably the best wrestler you've never heard of, but he's the best pinner of all time in American wrestling. And what we want to think about here is, how do I destabilize his base? How do I get him over? So the first thing Wade taught us was how to weaponize our hips. So when I come up, the first thing I do is I test his base with my hips. And there's going to be two things we do here. The first thing is I'm just going to like hip into him as hard as I like, hard, right? I'm trying to turn him. I'm trying to bump him over, right? And if he hits his hip, great. I can step over and start to set up like a claw grip, back take, mount, whatever. You might get that once, but if they got a good base, chances are they're going to kind of push into you. So when he pushes back, I'm going to hook this hip and I'm going to drag him down, right? And now he's shelled up here. From here, I got a couple options. For me, cradle immediately, bam, far side cradle. I'm in tight now. I've got a good pin. I can start to work him back to his back, set my crossface, swim, and get my points. So we'll start with that. Just real quick, check, get the feel for those hips. He used to have us do this little dance where we walk in a line and we da 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 da, hey, and you would get your hips going, right? And the whole thing is with your hips, with takedowns, with anything you're doing, if you learn how to really pop your hips well, you can start to get that energy going and start to debalance him. So go ahead and do that real quick, and we'll circle back up. Hips in. If he's based well, get this hip. Get his far side hip with a hook. So hip in, pull. Get him down, throw your cradle. If he's on this elbow, as you pull him down like this, like he's still trying to build back up, I'll go near side wrist ride. Pull that wrist in, throw this hook, hips in, start to straighten him out. And now we get into that like belly down kind of situation. Do that real quick, and then we'll start doing some more breakdowns. 1, 2.